Hey guys, it is me, Huffy your bear, back at it again, and today I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Asus ROG Xbox Ally X. I know it's kind of the topic right now in regards to uh, handheld PCs, gaming, portable gaming, handheld gaming, whichever. Uh, I'm sure you can tell by the channel, but I'm not a paid reviewer or even monetized for that matter. So this is legit just my honest thoughts about the device because I did end up picking one up. Um, I really like it so far, but I have to put a little disclaimer here. I am a huge enjoyer of the Xbox ecosystem, whether that is console or PC. I do have a sizable Steam library as well, but I have a lot of Xbox games on PC, whether that's through Game Pass or cross entitlements for stuff I already purchased on the console that just work on the PC. So I already do have a sizable library there as well. So I don't know. I like my achievements, so I like the ecosystem, so I like sticking there. So when the Steam Deck first launched in 2022, it still feels like last year, but it's been a while already. I ended up picking one up because I was enamored with the idea of playing JRPGs on the go or even visual novels on the go, right? Especially though JRPGs and not getting a headache from them. I don't know about you, but at a certain point, I became a little bit more sensitive to frame rate and um, badly optimized games. One example I can think of is Shin Megami Tensei 5 on the Switch. Not the Vengeance edition, but the very first one, back when it was Switch exclusive. I remember starting that on the stock Switch, and my eyes hurt. I got headaches. It was so bad. I don't know how anyone, well, I'm sure other people have different experiences, but I could not do it. I could not play it. At that point, I just gave it up. I was like, I will wait for something else. I don't know what. And years later, they came out with an Xbox port that had Play Anywhere support. So if you bought a copy on the console, you got it on the PC. So I was like, all right, bet I'm getting this. So I got that there, and I've been, slowly working my way through it. And then the ROG Ally came out, right? The ROG Ally came out. And I was, ooh, this looks cool, but man, I just bought a Steam Deck. It's not even really my Steam Deck. I share it with my brother. Maybe I can talk myself into buying this. I ended up not buying it. I couldn't justify it at the time, finances and stuff. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna make do with the Steam Deck, and I enjoyed it. I played a bunch of games on the Steam Deck. Most notably, I finished Trails Through Daybreak 1 and 2 on it. Pick up and play like on my PC and also on the Steam Deck. And obviously, it's degraded experience in the Steam Deck compared to a desktop PC, but like it works because it's like you can make it stable enough if you tinker with the settings. So I was like, all right. In any case, when they announced the Xbox Ally X, I was like, ooh, I really want one. I really want one. So I was following news for it. And then it came out and they announced the price tag. And I was like, ooh, I don't know if I could do this. But, you know, life kind of treats you funny in little ways. I got a little bit fortunate. I ended up coming into some extra cash I wasn't expecting to have. So I put it all towards the handheld and I picked one up. Anyway, it came through. I picked it up from Best Buy on release day, took it home. I already knew what I was getting into. It's a PC. I know the conversation is, oh, is it an Xbox? Is it an Xbox? Can it play my games? No, it's not a console. It's a PC. It's a PC handheld that focuses on the Xbox ecosystem. That's it. I know other people will get into arguing into the semantics of it or the nuances of it, like whatever. It's a PC. It can run Epic Game Store, Steam, GOG, whatever. If you even buy like an obscure visual novel from some other site, like Manga Gamer or something like that, like you can run those executables here too, and it works just fine. Whatever. Anyway, talking about the Ally X, it's a lot stronger than the Steam Deck. A lot. It's got a Z2 Extreme AI. Annoyingly enough, when you boot it up, Copilot is there. It's like, why would I want Copilot if I'm a gamer? Microsoft, they're really trying to push it. I feel like they came up with Copilot gaming because they're trying to justify themselves to the CEO, because he's like all in on Copilot and AI stuff. And they're like, oh look, we could do this with AI. I don't know. I think it's the dumbest thing ever, whatever. So it's a Copilot plus PC at the end of the day. I'm pretty sure you can uninstall it if you want. I just left it because like, I don't know if that would mess with any software updates later on, because there are features that are coming that are tied to the AI portion of the chip later on. Most notably SR, which is like an NPU based upscaler where it takes the images from your game and upscales them to another resolution, a higher resolution. I'm pretty sure it's mostly for dock play. I don't think you can use it in handheld mode, but the device itself has techniques that you can use for upscaling. You can use XESS, you can use FSR, and it has another thing called RSR, Radeon Super Resolution. This one I think you'll get the most use out of, because there's still a lot of games that don't have FSR or XESS, most notably older games. The kind of games you'd probably be more interested in playing on a handheld like this, right? So the way RSR works is, per the instructions, mind you, you have to open up your game, set it to the intended resolution. In this case, the Ally X has a 1080p screen, so you'd set it to 720p or 900p or something like that. Exit the game, turn on RSR, set it, to. Actually, I don't think you need to set it because it goes by your display's native resolution. In this case, being 1080p. So you'd start the game with RSR on after already setting the lower resolution in game prior, right? You boot it up, and at the driver level, it spatially upscales your game to that resolution. Is it perfect? It gets the job done. Mind you, the Ally X has a 7-inch screen, so you're not really going to be noticing too much, right? At the end of the day, like, it's a handheld. You have to come to compromise with that. So it gets the job done. In any case, I've noticed most reviews and gameplay videos of stuff running on the Ally X are kind of higher budget titles and more current titles. Like, I know Forza Horizon 5 is a big one. Some people are running like Silent Hill F on it or whatever have you. I picked a couple of games that I was playing like already, right? Just to like run them and show them how they're doing. So in this case, that's Triangle Strategy, Yakuza Like a Dragon, Resident Evil 2 Remake. I love that game. It's so good. And what else did I do? Oh, Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. Yeah. So you'll see how they're playing. In some cases, it's like almost a locked 60 FPS native everything, like Triangle Strategy. Some others gets to lower like 40-ish, but still enjoyable enough to play. Anyway, I'm kind of happy with the device. I didn't realize 1 terabyte would feel so small, though, as I started installing more and more games on it. So I ended up picking up a 1 terabyte micro SD card. So I'll talk a little bit about the specs of the storage here, right? So the SD card controller on the Ally X, and I believe the Ally as well, is locked to 200 megabytes per, or 200 megabits per second. That's the kind of class of SD card that you can use. The Switch 2 came out with that whole hullabaloo about micro SD Express or something like that. I can't really recall. But that one's supposed to go up to like 400 megabits per second, I think. In this case, you can't use those. I mean, you can buy one and put it in, but you're not going to get those rated speeds. It's maxed or capped out at 200, so keep that in mind when you're buying SD cards. In my case, I got a pretty cheap deal on a 1 terabyte but it's only rated for speeds of 160. That's roughly the same kind of class of SD card I use on my Steam Deck, so I was like, okay, I'm fine with this level of performance. I'm only going to be putting 2D games on the SD card anyway, so I don't really care. So I put, a bunch of visual novels and retro RPGs like Final Fantasy VI and stuff like that on the SD card, and they run fine. The SSD, mind you, that the Ally X ships with. Now, it's designed to be easily taken out and replaced by another standard size M2 2280 SSD. So you can just pop it out, put a new one in. I'm pretty sure anything you put in there will be an upgrade because when I was setting up the device, I looked at the SSD. It seemed to only do, which is like a weird number. It took me by surprise. It was like about 4,500 megabits per second, like read and write, which is kind of low. Well, maybe not too low. That's about what my boot drive is on my PC. But, speeds nowadays are like, I think the average speed of new SSDs that you can buy is like, well, maybe average isn't the right word, but the range of stuff that you can buy is like 5,000, 7,500, and I think the high-end Samsung ones are like almost 14,000 read and write, right? So if you upgrade the storage on the SSD by replacing it, you're also going to get a performance advantage just by the fact that the booting up and everything else is going to load a lot faster. All right, going by connectivity, it's got a Wi-Fi 6 chip. I think it was kind of weird they didn't go for Wi-Fi 7. Maybe they were trying to save cost, perhaps. I don't know. In any case, I didn't mind it too much because I only have a Wi-Fi 6 router myself. I remember replacing it when that tech was new, taking advantage of Wi-Fi 6. And then now 7's been out for a while. I'm sure it's a lot faster, but Wi-Fi 6 gets the job just fine. All right, so going to setting it up. When I set mine up, it took a while because it took about an hour or so for me to install all the Windows updates, Armoury Crate updates, AMD updates. But once that got done, I just set about to install in games. So I put all my games in a queue for the Xbox app. Then I installed Steam. I installed some Steam games. And essentially I let it just download games on queue while plugged in while I went to work. And it did the job. But yeah, those are my thoughts so far. In conclusion, I like it a lot. Granted, I'm like someone who's already heavily into Xbox and PC gaming. So I knew what I was getting into. I liked it a lot. My intended use case for it, though, is like either when I'm traveling, because everyone travels or whatever, and you can't really... I mean, I guess you could take a laptop, but I don't want to do that. Traveling and grinding in RPGs while I'm watching TV shows. I don't know if anyone else feels like that, but if you're watching Netflix or binging a show or something like that, you can also grind some levels in a game, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I'm not a fan of tedious grinding, so being able to do it while doing something productive like enjoying a show. Well, maybe some people can't multitask. Anyway, I can, so I enjoy it. And I got it for that intended purpose. So yeah, I'm enjoying my ROG Xbox Ally X. My one gripe with it so far is even though it's Windows, I can't customize it with custom boot animations that I've seen, because obviously it boots to Windows, right? It boots straight to the Windows screen that we all know, so I don't know. In any case, guys, yeah, those are my thoughts so far. And at the end of this, this part of the video, I'm going to include some gameplay snippets with the performance indicator on that I recorded by plugging the Ally X into my capture card. So the Ally X isn't doing any local recording. It's recording into the capture card that I use when I stream from console. So yeah, here, check it out, guys. Enjoy. Leave the video a like or a sub, though, I'd appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Huffy Bear out.
This'll do. Here. I will end this. Shadows conceal me.
My turn.
The hunt is on. This ends now!
Good try.
Not a chance.
There is no mercy on the battlefield. This will serve well.
For the honor of House Wolford. To work. You're done for!
Cool heads shall prevail.
Decimal, taking off. Crash foul.
Come at me! Show me what you're made of.
I will end this.
Models were off.
Lionel has arrived! Combat is not Lionel's forte.
Into the shadows.
We doing this? You're done for! For victory! It ends here! My lance strikes true! From where shall we strike?
The hunt is on.
Good try!
I see a path to victory. You were overconfident.
Cool heads shall prevail. I will end this. With the powers in me.
Here I go.
I've been waiting for this!
Have you brought coin?
Come get me. Ha!
To work. Trying something new. I won't lose!
The hunt is on. This ends now!
From where shall we strike?
There is no mercy on the battlefield. There is always a way.
Defeat is not an option.
Let me heal your wounds.
Ice wall!
Behold! Behold!
Allow me.
I'll take you on!
You cannot impede progress.
Ready. Might use this. Charge!
This battle is ours.
なんだこりゃ。ザリガニじゃねえか。なんでこんなとこに。川から上がってきたのか。このまま車にひかれるのもあれだし、戻して。そんじゃ元気でなっと。
ああ、わしのナンシーが。
え？
ああ、もう姿が見えん。
おい、もしかして今のザリガニあんたのか？
ああ、あいつはわしが手塩にかけて育てていた適度な運動が大切なんでな。ナンシーは
わしにとって希望とも言えるそんなし。悪かったなじいさん。まさかあんたが大事にしてたザリガニだなんて思わなかったからよ。いや、あんたも悪気がないのは分かってるよ。もうナンシーの姿はどこにも見えん。じゃあわしは帰るとするよ。じいさん、ちょっと待って。あんたのナンシー俺が捕まえて。まあやれるだけ。そうか。もしもナンシーを見つけてくれたら。分かった。俺はカス。ナンシーは背中に背中のバツ印だな。まだ遠くには行ってないだろうし。
Look, man, I'm serious, okay? I saw this with my own eyes.
Oh, I believe you, buddy. I believe you. Just...
You all right? Don't move. I'll be back for you. Freeze! I'll shoot! What the?
Don't shoot!
Get down!
Attention all citizens. Due to the citywide out...
This is out of control. everybody. They've all turned. There it is. The station. Hello? Is anybody here? Jesus. Open up! Hurry! Open up! Open this goddamn door! I'll get you out! Jesus! They're everywhere! Come on. Does anyone know what started this? This is not how I imagined my first day.